deep into the jungles and deep into this series as we continue to explore the Elephant Nation. Welcome back to the channel, folks, for a show match on the upcoming DLC. Vortex with the Tughlaq Dynasty pick, and Anatan with the Sengoku Daimyo response. Yeah, this is going to be fun. So Sengoku has been seen as easily top 2 of the new civs. Tughlaq, apart from a cheesy strat, has maybe looked like the weakest. I think what people are learning quick, though, is that this civ struggles when you play for, like, eco-greedy. But when you play aggressive, there actually might be some potential. And who better to test that aggression than someone like Vortex? Enough to see. I'm not sure. I'm not convinced. I've seen Vortex playing this civ against his brother. And funnily enough, instead of being aggressive in that situation, they played greedy. If you guys remember, we had a game with Vortex. He went 2 TC. He went for a Tughlaq a bad 4. Actually looks surprisingly good. I know. If it does play out greedy like that, I like the look of it for Sengoku. Because I think Sengoku is an established eco-civ. They want to set up the good baseline for a strong economy. And they do that via this building at the heart of it all. It scales your late game by giving a buffed aura around it to gathering rates of villages. And it scales your food income early infinitely. As in the Yatais will generate food forever off of these temporary food sources. Yeah, and he's already moving out. Anatan, he already knows where the deer and the boar are. So he sticks one out on the east side. This is generating 60 food, which is the maximum for Yatai. And this one with the deer and berries, he won't be able to quite cap. I think he might be at like 52 or something. Isn't the elephant sheep gathering just bugged? I'm not sure. It does it. I'm not sure if it's meant to. Because technically things like Gers do this too. And I think that's where it's taking inspiration from. But yes! No healer elephants here. Vortex. For a rare sight. We haven't been getting many of these. It's a Tower of Victory. Yeah, okay. I'm hyped for this. This is what I've been looking forward to, is a little bit more TOV play. Because technically it's meant to be quite good for some of these things. For example, the Raider elephants that the Elephant Nation has, they attack every 2.3 seconds. So 15% being knocked off of that is really impactful. Same with things like War Elephants later. And another fun detail, this will impact the Siege Elephants. Because they're springalds. They're very slow to attack. So yeah, like I think Tower of Victory has some very interesting early game potential and scales really well for the late game. And to be fair, outside of heal elephants being really good, I don't see as much value in Dome of Faith because unlike the Delhi, it's not you scaling into free technologies. Remember, the Tughlaq Dynasty doesn't get techs for free. They actually pay a premium for their techs, but get them very fast. Shout out to the devs for that, by the way. I love how while developing a new Elephant Nation, at the core of it, they were like, okay, what could we do that makes this a polar opposite of the original Civ? And like, well, those guys tend to get techs for free, but slowly. So what if instead we got techs really fast, but it was expensive? Haha, and Coke is coming in. So Koku Township, I'm a bigger fan of this over the Ryokan. The Ryokan is interesting. It gives a little healing aura when you're not in combat, which is in theory good for, I think, night strats. But the thing about Sengoku Daimyo's Koku Township is, unlike Japan's, it has a lot of value as the game drags on deeper. You are able to spawn shinobi near either your buildings or the stealth forests. And those shinobi have limited frag grenades to throw, but those frags will debuff any enemies they connect with. So they'll decrease the movement speed, and they'll increase the damage that units hit by them receive. It's really, really powerful. I love this support arc they've given the Sengoku. Vortex. Ooh, okay. So it's a Tughlaq a bad 4, and then 2 TC. Yeah, different order of things. But I guess he wants to 2 TC the gold. Might even be able to push the deer in. So remember, guys, these forts, you can build them from the feudal age. They cost half the price of a standard fort, or roughly anyway, 425 stone. And what's interesting about them is that you can build governors in them. Yeah, so you allocate a governor, and these governors give different buffs. So they can, for example, increase your health on your elephants. They could increase your production speed of your town centers, decrease the cost of research, provide food from houses nearby. I wonder if this is actually that one. I think this might be the governor of Bakar. Because he's already setting up the houses as if it is. So the governor of Bakar, the way it works, is for every house or farm next to this, and it is Bakar, it's going to generate 12 food, 20 food, or 28 food, depending on the tier of the governor. Now, what's interesting about this strategy is if you're going 2TC, you're going to need a lot of houses quicker. And by building the houses here, you're getting like a pit mine for food, which means you subsidize the cost of the town center. That's very smart, isn't it? Yeah. So he's already getting 24 food. And second town center is now going to be on the berries. And we did see Anatan losing his scout. He got a little bit ambitious there. He wasn't expecting a fort, but we have a Yuumi strat. Interesting. I like that because Vortex might want to scale the fort because if he scales it, he gets more food eventually. And that means it's going to start overkilling a lot. However, right now, at tier 1, it's decent against the Yuumi. You can see it does double 10 damage, and then you get the garrison of 10, which is going to be another 60, which means you do 80 damage per round of attacks to a Yuumi. It's overkilling, but it's not overkilling by much. And yes, the castles only have 2k HP because they only cost 425 stone. And you get a governor perk. But with this tiering here, the Shahi walls and the other fort improvements behind it, you can see that you increase the stats. You get 1,500 more plus fire armor as well for tier 1. And you'll also increase the DPS, while also upgrading the governor tiers. As you can see him here. Outpost now coming through. Anno, he did summon the Shinobi. Yeah, I guess he was a little bit paranoid he might get contested by, say, an opening Raider Elephant here. But that would be too expensive for what Vortex has done. I don't think Anatan has actually confirmed that it's 2TC yet. This, it doesn't even tell you for sure. Like, it could just be he's getting ready to upgrade the fort. So I want to keep rotating, but then he should know. And the Shinobi, by the way, when you deploy them, they have 90 seconds. So 3 ways the Shinobi disappear. 1, the timer runs out. 2, they lose all their health. Or 3, they throw all of their grenades, of which they have 3. And it takes them about 13 seconds to throw 3 grenades. There's 1. Two. Vortex already with textiles, though. A bit hard time being achieved, but Yuumi, they're a distraction. Anno, the real target seems to be Castle. He just wants to slow down Vortex as much as possible. With 2 kills already, I think we can agree he's ticked that box. What happened there? Raider Elephant's going to come out now. Now, that will be the solution to the Yuumi Asakaru. Because he's able to 2-hit. The Stampede, though, the Trample, they're smart. If he sticks on top of villagers the whole time with the Trample, he'll almost kill them straight away. Beautifully done. Double kill for Vortex. All right, that might be the most worth Raider Elephant we've seen so far. These guys are scary, by the way. I think Raider Elephants really live up to their name in the first part. If he, for example, gets on this tree line and he begins a stampede with a trample, if he stays on top of a villager, he'll do 48 damage in 6 seconds. You heard me correctly, 48 damage. Now, where that gets interesting is think what you do when a raid comes in on your villagers. You panic and you select them all to pull away, which means they pull together. So yeah, I think with some optimization, you can actually see a few Raider Elephants be as impactful as French Knights. Speaking of the French Knight equivalent in stats, Daimyo does come out. So Daimyo is accessible because he went for the Sengoku Estates. He went for the Oda one, which allows him to buff his Yuumi damage. So Anatan, it seems he was originally thinking Castle, but he's fully reinvested now. Which is kind of crazy, so he's just trying to beat the elephants with the thing that's meant to counter him. Not just that, your Yuumi are worse archers, statistically. So you can get up to 6 damage, but Vortex can go up to 4 ranged armor. And yes, the elephants can hit multiple units at once, but they basically have to be inside the hitbox to get trampled. It's like, technically, multiple elephants can hit the same unit, but it's very limited in that, like, for example, it should be 2 elephants hitting the same unit maximum. Keep in mind one of the weaknesses of the trample if he uses it, you'll see it has a really long cast. It's not like the cataphracts where they just ride. You basically announce you're going to try and kill someone. So if you're quick to respond, it does give you a bit of time to try and shift out of position. Which is especially important for things like Yuumi. Very fast units. We have got the +1 armor though, and he doesn't have the +1 extra attack from the Oda clan. It's only now coming through, so great pushback by Vortex. It may seem a bit busted that Raider Elephants are pushing this back, but remember what we're looking at here. Like, this is meant to counter these. Maybe not at this quantity though. Now with the +1 damage and the attack speed, that's a 10% increase to DPS. And you saw what I mean. This is the problem with the trample. If you're playing against someone who's paying attention and they see the trample, they will take that opportunity to move away, which essentially means you're probably going to lose about half of the duration's value. So I don't think it's just a press and always win type situation. You need the right moment. Because think about it this way. If I'm trampling and it takes me like 1.5 seconds to begin a trample, and you've now moved an extra 1.5 seconds away, I'm maybe going to do, if I'm on top of you after that, 24 damage. In that time, I could have just stayed on top of you and hit you with the tusks again. So against like an archer, for example, if you're chasing like one archer, you could have done 36 damage instead. And yes, I've been one of the people who's given feedback about the elephant noises. I've had to decrease my volume on the test server to compensate for how insanely loud elephants are. And that's sick. Okay, so Shinobi, these grenades buff the damage you take by 50%. Meaning those Yuumi do 9 damage to the unit that's meant to counter them before reduction. That's pretty good. That's over 50% breach then. What a cool idea. House of Learning is now on the way. Anatan, he needs some kills for this. He's heavily invested into the Yuumi. Oh, by the way, for some reason, Shinobi don't show up on the military bar. Big Sag. Vortex. We'll just be at a garrison. We found the counter to Yuumi, gentlemen. I'm listening, coach. What are we going to do? Build buildings. Wait, really? Is that simple? Buildings. Like, really? Really? Buildings. Huh. And yes, worker elephants can garrison. They even have a seek shelter. Archers now with the dive in. I like how he's even protecting the worker elephants that have 500 HP and now have 4 ranged. Like they're going to get killed. The villages will have to shuffle away. This has been an expensive dive, though. However, he has achieved a lot of idle time. Vortex, half of his economy, over half, 2/3 of it are not working right now. He's going to try to just migrate them about, but Vortex's entire worker lead is going kaput. Yeah, I'm actually impressed. Anatan, he even doubles down on this. Queues up another half a dozen Yuumi. And even the tech stars, this is stinging a bit. Remember, it's not like when you play against Japan doing this, where you can just kill the bannerman. You kill the bannerman, and then you're like, okay, there goes the extra damage. Nope. It's built in, because remember, he went for the Oda estate. So the Oda estate gave him a unique tech for +1. It also increased his health ever so slightly. Yeah, like, it hasn't been a big focal point, because +3 health doesn't really... Yeah, it doesn't really have that succulent sound to it, does it? Like, wow, he's got +3 health. Holy crap. Now, you guys laugh, but that could be the difference between killing a wolf and dying to a wolf. And yes, you can go for multiple different estates for the Sengoku Daimyo. You are limited to 2 types of estates. So once he chooses either Hojo or Takeda, he can't get the other one because he's already got Oda. And then only 1 estate is allowed to be taken to tier 3. Tier 3 is really good, by the way. You can see there. Provides +1 deflective armor to units recruited from archery ranges. You heard that correctly. Not only do you get some units for free with the levies, but you'll also be able to get deflective armor on Yuumi. I haven't seen anyone use it yet, but it does sound kind of busted. In fairness, though, just a reminder, these daimyos aren't cheap. So tier 3 daimyo would cost him 1,200 resources. 600 stone, 600 wood. Yumi. Well, you might have the quality, sir, but there's a lot of us, and oh my god, was he going for the debuff? What is this game? I know, this just feels unhinged. The amount of Yumi production. And now we just walk away. See, you guys have too much armor. You guys, not so much. At least he's got the Governor of Bakar to kick him up a bit. So he's getting 72 food now here passively. Looks like he's going to need it as well. Vortex's food is becoming a bit concerning. He's almost exhausted the berries, the deer afford, and he can't eat boar. And Anno, wow, he's going for relics. Temple of Equality now on the way. These guys are doing pretty well. And I like the Vortex backs away there. The moment you see Shinobi, you should be crapping it. Because you've got 6 ranged armor, but that means the Yumi, with that debuff on you, they're going to do 3 damage each. Lancers die pretty quick against this many Yumi like that. So Temple of Quality rushed up. This means we'll have access to the Iki monks. Great in combat. Allows you to heal every unit around you, but the more important thing here is going to be rushing relics. I think this is also finally proof of the question you guys all had. What would win? 1 fully grown man or 45 toddlers? The problem with this logic is you can punt down a few of the toddlers, but eventually the little bites are just going to make you die. Like, you know, enough of them just nibbling away. Like the bites and scratches. It's like death by 1,000 cuts. And that's what the Yumi are achieving here. Little toddlers ready to take down the big Elephanto Honcho. Yumi veterans, he just came in. He's now got 77 HP due to the Estates effect, giving 10% more HP. Vortex sneaking out onto the flank for food, but main base now going idle. We have, however, got a counter attack. Hold on! Look at the kills! Vortex! Oh my god, the Lancer raids! Tanegashima, Ashigaru now coming out. This is the crossbowman of the Sengoku, but they need a front line. The little baby elves were not able to fire off enough arrows here. Anatan's strat, it looked solid up until a point. And that point was the edge of Vortex's blades. He realized its weakness. Reacting to it is how you lose. Going for the heart of the economy is how you take the win, though. I know, I didn't even notice it stockpiling that high. The Yumi had me distracted for sure. And it had Anatan's full attention too, so he brings them home now. But damage done, a 17 worker lead now for Vortex. And much needed at this stage. Remember, Vortex, he's running out of temporary food sources quite quick. While Anatan has started to set up the permanence with the Matsuri aura. He's got 25% gathering buff in this aura range. And he still, remember, does have some Yatais out in the field. And someone asked earlier, can you actually get food off of farms? You can, if you go for the Yatai farm gather. It's a 300 gold tech that you get from Feudal Age. What a turnaround, man. I thought this game was close to over. I was like, okay. Vortex has impressed me. Etegigi. Anatan just a bit better. And then all of a sudden, Vortex truly impresses me with a shocking turnaround. And now even adding the farms. Remember, this is a drop-off building as well. The ninja. Da-na-na-na, only 7 damage. Only! It is splash damage, though. Not bad for a free unit. Before anyone says Imba, by the way, the cooldown is, like, pretty reasonable. So it's a 90-second cooldown. But you get 6 of them now in Castle Age instead of 4. Still, Grenadier Boys, not quite as good as the Lancers. I think the more busted part that will get highlighted about Sengoku, we didn't mention this game, we talked about another ones. Map hacks. So this ability here allows you to scout by just clicking somewhere on the map. So in 10 seconds, he'll be able to see exactly what Vortex is doing in his base. For example, Vortex now switching into Raider Elephants, could be revealed before it even gets into a fight. If Vortex just has this ability cast on his base. I think right now, though, maybe Anatan's losing track of it. It is an awkward thing to remember. And there you go. Oh my god, he combos it! Okay, that's brilliant. Shinobi Scout into ambush. He knew exactly where to look. Finds the gold. Tries to spread the damage. Frags out. And work is down. Did that? This is gonna get annoying. Oh my god, I can already see the Reddit threads about this combo. Are you kidding me? Sight into ambush because of the stealth forest at the back of your base. You know, a certain Canadian twin combo have told me before about how much they hate stealth forests. I think this expansion is about to make them hate it even more. Oh my god. I thought he was just going to look and see what his opponent's eco was like. But no. I think that's maybe a bit too strong. Because now that I think about it, like, you have 90 seconds. So if you summon them at the back, you then have 90 seconds to do something with them. That's a long time. They might have to tweak this to be more like 30 seconds upon Shinobi spawn. Because even 30 seconds is quite a lot of time. Because you only need half that to use all your frags. So 2TC, Anatan now trying to just slowly recover. Has got a good buff here. The Matsuri's been maxed out. It now gives 30% increased gathering. Think of this like an Aachen Chapel. Because that's what it is. Just with a bigger aura than the Aachen Chapel. And Relic game, I can't believe Vortex still hasn't even picked any up. It's kind of wild. We're 22 minutes into this game. Anna's the one going for them. Vortex doesn't seem interested. Oh, wait. No, there you go. Spoke too soon. Mosk just came up. And what has he got out of the House of Learning? Nothing so far. But I do sense some Mahoots play coming. Also, collateral damage would be nice. Collateral damage gives you plus 30% damage on your bonus damage. Meaning he'll get an extra, what was that, 7 damage against ranged units. And uh-oh, trample. Run! 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 The Stampede comes in. Gets him deep in the formation. Raider Elephant's pretty smooth situation for them. A counter type for this battle. 6 ranged armor up against the Yumi. And they hit hard enough to hit kill the Yumi. And this is just wave number 1. Oh no, Vortex. He caught him in the perfect moment in the middle of a 2TC switch. And his attempt to drown him and Yumi's come to a fail here. When you're at a point where your opponent has more military, the Yumi strat has failed. I know. Not one to say GG too quickly, though. He's like, you haven't quite killed me yet. It's definitely lead and advantage now for Vortex. He has map control. He started to get farms in himself. But we are now free TC. I mean... road to recovery, right? And crap hits the fan. You know, you can either... I guess the TC building equivalent is like, when crap hits the fan, you can either let someone's VC hit you in the face, or you could just go out and buy an umbrella and some new fans. And apparently, free TC is the equivalent of buying some new fans and an umbrella. Problem is, Vortex is making it rain elephants. Archer switch as well. That's smart. He read that perfectly because we do have a pivot into Tanegashima Ashigaru. Tanegashima Ashigaru are not that great against the elephants. They're okay. This mainly for the lancers. Because remember, the Ashigaru are the replacement for crossbowmen for the Sengoku. You do pay a premium. It's 140 instead of 120. So the same situation with Onimusha. But I think this unit scales so much better than Onimusha. Their attack speed is really bad by default, 2.5. But with the Daimyo aura, you can quickly get that down to some competitive degrees. So you can get it down to basically crossbowman level. And then later, if you go for the tier 4 landmark that buffs the attack speed more, you can get it down to the Arbitrier's attack speed for the upgrade. I wonder if he's going for Tate. So Tanegashima Tate will give him the extra range and ranged armor. which would mean the archers wouldn't hard counter him. Still, this just looks... I mean, it looks impossible. Unless Vortex really drops the ball. Archer's going to keep chasing this away. Has he... He's not used House of Learning once, by the way. Huh? Nani? Not a single tech has been taken out of this thing. I guess he had a strat in mind and then it never came to fruition. Reminder, House of Learning doesn't have any passive tech. Like, you don't get a bonus from just building it. You have to actually get the technologies. Another dive in. Wait, is Vortex going too quickly here? Okay, it looks like he's trying to save up for Imperial. So yeah, half of his heart in the push and half of it in the scale. It's probably the easier way to win this. And the farm count is going up, by the way. You see it. Oh my god! Vortex! Has he washed out? Like, where's the mills? No, guys, remember, you don't need mills. You just spam a bunch of worker elephants around here. Yeah, if you don't know what they do, Tughlaq farm clusters is going to melt your brain in how odd it looks, I think. And reminder, by the way, he has been getting the worker elephant tax here. So he's getting increased drop-offs. He's at 15% more resources on drop-off. And he's buffed the gathering rate of his villagers twice. So 10% quicker gathering rate and 15% more resources. Once he gets to Imperial, he can turn this into the Chinese supervision. Pretty damn strong. Vortex. They just wait for Anatan to come to him. Just come to Papa. Anno. Are we on a bow-only challenge here? Like, I feel like we're just trying to win the game with only Yuumi. In fairness, because he went into the estates there, he's kind of stuck to a certain degree. Is he going estate level 3? He might be. Remember, that would give him deflective armors here. It sounds so weird to say that Yuumi can have deflective armor. In some ways, it sounds like the most pointless unit to give deflective armor to. But then you remember he's up against Lancers. So, like, if Lancers have to waste a heavy hit on a deflective armor, that's worth it for him. Ambush coming in again. He's going to get the frags out. And he does get the maim the slow. Increased DPS, that's good enough to turn it. Nicely played. So stay of execution here, Vortex. Is that me, or are we getting some crazy long feudal and castle games? I'm here for it. I was a bit worried that we were just going to get everyone trying to play Imp, because traditionally, I feel like that's what we get a lot of, is that people just try to rush Imp or play 2TC in tech when new things come out. Because you don't know how they work yet. But I love how the focus has been more around, okay, I think this is a good attack type civ. Maybe that's a knock-on effect of them being variant civs, is like they are very different, but in your mind there's familiarity of like, oh, I know Yuumi can be very good for raiding, so we're going to try to use that, even though they function quite differently. And we do have Oda estates. Okay, so tier 3 unlocked. And that means all newly produced range units will have deflective armor. Okay, so that is a fair balance point. It would be broken if all the existing Yuumi got it. But now every newly, freshly spawned range unit of any of these that are in... I think it'd have to be in range. Yeah, they have to be in the estate's range, in the influence. As long as they are, they now have deflective. Vortex now, the Palace of Sultan. Okay, so this works very differently, folks. You're not going to get gun elephants. I was shocked by this. I thought if any elephant was going to make a return, it would be that one. I guess they thought maybe it'd be a bit too imber. This works differently. So you get access to an immediate tier 4 governor. That's quite a lot of savings because remember, like here, he's only got the tier 1. To upgrade it to maximum tier, I think you spend something like 1,400 stone or whatever. He's just going to get it straight away. So tech up complete. We're probably looking at... Do you go for the I don't know about Governor of Ajmer here. Maybe the TC? Ah, you don't need... No, TC's pointless. I guess you just go for the tech cost. Oh, no. No, he goes for Sewan. Oh, no. Wait, what? Okay, this is the first time I've seen the tier 4. Your healer elephants heal 50% quicker, and units healed by the healer elephants get a damage buff of 20% for 10 seconds. Now, you can always get the damage buff. It just scales 10, 15, 20. He's also getting more gold from Relic and Sacred Sites. But the real big deal breaker is 50% more heal. Oh my god. I don't know if we're going to get to see it, though. Because, guys, this is the dirty part about teching with Tughlaq. Compared to other civs like Golden Horde, they are disgusting with this. If you can afford it, you get elite tech in 5 seconds. Tech into immediate deletion of the Sengokus. And Tughlaq, they might be a civ that looks like they're going to struggle a little bit with the early game and with how they balance that dynamic. But I think we can agree, if you get any long extended feudal or castle and you then have the economy upon a tech up, nobody in the game can rival these tech speeds.